Good morning, people. We're gonna have a brew today. So today we're gonna do a smash, S-M-A-S-H, single malt, Maris Otter, and single hop, Citra. So we're gonna do a Citra smash today. Got the Citra from my friends at Brew. So I'm planning just a session IPA-ish smash type thing. So I've got 4 kilo of Maris Otter weighed out that we're gonna mash in shortly. We're gonna Robobrew is up to temperature at 67 degrees, and then we'll kind of move it on to the boil, etc. We'll talk you all through it. But anyway, Citra smash. So stay tuned. I'm sure you've all seen a mash in before, so we're just gonna get right on to it. Okay, so I'm gonna stick our grain in. And then just give it a good old stir in. So I've gone for 15 litres of strike water here, so 15 litres of initial water, and then we'll do another 15 litres that we'll sparge with, and that should kind of give us pre-boil of 24-ish. We'll see how it goes. We're going to adjust it a little bit while we go. But for just now, just want to get this mash on and then leave it for an hour or so. I've just realised I've not got my recirculation arm on, so we'll need to get that connected up, but that's no big drama. So I've got quite a few quite heavy beers on tap just now, which is why I wanted to go for something just a little bit lighter, a little bit more kind of session. So I'm kind of aiming for ABV around about the kind of between 4.5. That'll be kind of ideal for me. It just means you can have a few pints of an evening and still feel super duper the next day. So mash is pretty much finished, I think. It's looking pretty good. I'm not seeing any kind of doughballs. Obviously makes it a little bit easier when you're doing a kind of lighter beer because there's not as much grain in there. Oh, my little rubber top just popped off there. There's not as much grain in there, so you don't have to worry too much about kind of making sure that it's all mixed in, because the kind of water to grain ratio makes it nice and easy to mash in there. So we're all good. I'm going to get my recirculation arm connected up. We'll stick our little kind of grain bed thing on top just to kind of try and keep it clear, and we'll mash for an hour at 67. There are recirculation on, and it just seems to be nice, flowing nicely. We've got a nice golden colour starting to appear, looking good. So I was out walking the dogs, took a little bit longer than normal, and I also forgot to put my sparge heater on, which is a bit dumb. So our mash's actually been an hour and a half, okay? So it's no biggie. So we're just gonna lift this out here and let it drain a bit. Get this wee handle in here, up she goes. Okay, so let that drain and then we'll sparge it through. And then we'll get the boil on. Okay, time to sparge. So all we're going to do is pour some water in here. So I've got around about 4 litres in this jug. Pour it in. Let that soak through the grains. Repeat until you've got your pre-boil volume. Pre-boil volume, easy for you to say. So our pre-boil volume, pretty much bang on there, about 27 litres, so we're looking good. It's just come to boil now. We're at 89 degrees, and then we've got our first lot of hops in. So 25 grams of Citra. I've got it in my hop spider here that will fire in here, and then oh, the smell of hops. Whew, that Citra is just delicious. Anyway, so yeah, we'll get our first lot of hops in, and then after 50 minutes, then we'll put our next little hops in, and we'll also stick a couple of other things in just 10 minutes before the end of the boil, but we'll come back to that. So let's just get this to the boil, get the hops in, and let's get making beer. Right, so we're just coming to the boil now, so just giving it a good stir as we get that kind of hot break. And then this should settle down nicely into a nice rolling boil. It's got a lovely golden colour to it. I'm really liking the look of it. See if that settles down now. We've got our trusty fan here. Let me just give you a quick glimpse of my fan. Oh, no, it needs to tilt up a little bit. Little fan here just helps keep blow the steam away out my garage and stops it condensating on the roof. I know you can get like, I've tried extracts and all sorts, but actually, you know, fan, 15 quid out of Argos, does the job perfectly. Open the garage door, let it blow out, job done. So yeah, this is looking good. Nice rolling boil. I'm gonna drop my hops in, let them plonk in. I'll just hook this on here, let it do its thing, and like I say, we'll come back in 50 minutes. Right, 10 minutes to go. So we've got another 25 grams of our lovely Citra. We're also going to throw in a little drop of Protofloc, Irish moss. So not much, just 2.5 grams, 2 grams maybe. So I normally just put in 1/4 teaspoon, a little bit more than that, just sprinkle it in, job done. That just helps it, all the kind of proteins and stuff to coagulate, helps for a clearer beer. Get our counterflow chiller in. So that just obviously sanitizes our chiller to make sure that there's no badness being introduced into our beer. And I do need to put in our hops. Now, the only problem with this hop spider is it's going to be roasting hot, isn't it? So I just need to wait for that for a little minute to cool, and then I'll stick these hops in, leave it for another 10 minutes, and then we can start to cool it down. So that's us, flame out, so heaters are off, our cooler is connected up, we're cooling down. I'm just going to throw the last of the hops in. Now what I did, because that hop spider was so hot, I stuck another little hop bag in at 10 minutes just to sanitize it, and we're going to put the rest of the Citra in. So that is 50 grams, right at the end, tie our little bag up, plonk it in, and just let it soak there. So we're just going to take this down to temperature, and then we'll get our transferred into our FV. Job's good one. So we're cooled down to temperature. We're sitting at actually 17 degrees. I was again busy doing something else, wasn't watching it carefully enough. 17 degrees fine though, perfect temperature for pitching yeast. So what we're going to do is transfer it now out of our kettle, out of our Robobrew, into our fermentation vessel, which has been lovely and sanitised. And then get the yeast on, and let's do its thing. So make sure your fermentation vessel, make sure all your taps are closed. You don't want to be losing any of your precious wort right now. So it's looking pretty good. Lovely colour. Yeah, it's looking nice, smelling pretty nice too. So we'll take a gravity reading as well, original gravity reading. We'll do that in a jiff and see how we go. But yeah, so far so good. Look at that. It looks like good enough you could just pick it up. Ugh. Just drink it right now. Can't though, because it's not got alcohol in it yet. So we need some of these little bad boys. So this is a harvested Safe Ale SO5 that I'm going to use. So this is a 2nd generation yeast. So it's been in the fridge for a wee while actually, but it should be fine. There was a layer of beer on top that I've just skimmed off. So that'll have kept it kind of nice and healthy. So we're just going to fire this in here. Sometimes I would kind of oxygenate it as well, but it looks so well oxygenated just kind of having shifted in there. I'm not going to bother, I'm kind of just, I've got a lot to do today, so I'm just going to get the lid on this, get it in the fermentation fridge at, I've set it at 20 degrees, so it'll kind of be thereabouts, a degree either side of that. Get it in, let these little yeasty bad boys do their thing, and we'll check back in maybe tomorrow, see if we've got bubbles. But if not, certainly in 2 weeks' time. I like to leave it for 2 weeks to ferment out completely. I'll probably take a yeast harvest after a few days as well, because I want to kind of get more yeast that I can just stick in the fridge. Free, you know, why not? But apart from that, we'll just let these yeasties do their thing and get ready for an awesome beer. Smash! Citra Smash! Hey, welcome back! It's Clive for BrewBru. Get rid of this stupid thing, eh? So, welcome back to our Smash Your Face In. No, it's not Smash Your Face In, it's just a smash, remember. So, been fermenting away here, it's been in for 7 days. Fermenting it really good, I think, actually. So 2 or 3 days in, it was slowing right down. I mean, overnight, just boof, just rocket took off. So it's now a week and it's just absolutely stone dead. So I'm pretty happy that it's finished. Plus, I need that fermenter. So I'm kind of probably, normally I would like to leave this for a couple of weeks. But I'm in a hurry, I'm always in a hurry, so I'm wanting to get this thing emptied. So what we're going to do is, I want to harvest some of that yeast back off. So it was a WHC bond that we had, and I want to take some of that off. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll get this into the keg. So I've got a sanitised glass jar here, and what we're going to do is crack open this. Come on, my lovelies. Oh, it's making a bit of a mess, isn't it? You'll notice we've taken our blow-off tube off as well. Right, that should do us. So, there we go. You see that? Looking not bad. That'll settle out, and there'll be a kind of mixture of a bit of trub in there. There's obviously some beer, but yeah, should settle out. So we'll get some yeast in there that I can harvest again, use for next time. So I'll update the date on this, stick it in the fridge, clean up the mess in here, and let's get it into the keg. Okay, let's go. So you've seen me do this before, right? But anyway, I'm just going to run you through it quickly. So we've got our gas here going into our top of our chronicle, and then we've got a pipe connected from our outlet from our fermentation vessel into, now I normally put it in the out, so it's going right down to the bottom. You're not creating too much oxygen. Just connected straight up to our corner keg. And all we do is make sure your relief valve here is up, and then all we're going to do is we're going to crank this open. Beer starts to flow. Turn our gas on. Maximum 1 to 2 psi, and just let it flow. Simple as that. So let's just wait for the action to happen. So that's transferring. I thought I'd take a final gravity reading. So final gravity is about 1015, I reckon. Original gravity was 1052, so we do the maths, 37 multiplied by 131.25 gives you around about 4.9%. I haven't actually tasted it. It's not particularly clear, but probably because we're only a week in. Like I say, I would have rather to leave it in there for another week or so, but I can't right now. So what we'll do is kind of get into that time of year where it's pretty cold here. It's probably only about 5 or 6 degrees in here just now. So that'll probably just cold crash itself. So just leave it probably for a couple of weeks. I'll stick the carb on it, but kind of 10-12 psi, just leave it, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll smash your face in with an amazing smash. So check it out.